I think the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE was a proof of concept that actually succeeded. It brought enough flagship elements to deserve the title, but then experimented with dropping a few non-essentials in order to drive the price down at a time when the market needed it. Think about it. Do you really need your display to be curved? Can you really tell if it's Quad HD+? Does the back really need to be made out of glass? And even most important, would you be willing to trade all of these secondary elements for a less expensive price tag? The result was a massive hit. Even if I still debate the name, I feel that fans will drift more to features than the price, but it really helped pave the way for what the company had next. This is the Galaxy S21, what Samsung calls the everyday epic and what I'm gonna call a true phone for the fans. See, instead of a smaller and expensive flagship or a watered-down offering, what we have here is a new approach that is seriously out to compete. I'm Jaime Rivera with Pocketnow, and this is our full review sponsored by SUPCASE. Stick around to learn how you can win a Galaxy S21 and a Galaxy S21 Ultra. There's a reason why I chose to do this review before the Ultra. If you look at the S21 lineup, I think this is the sleeper hit. In many ways, this is almost the same phone as its bigger brothers, but with a couple of minor tweaks to bring a dramatic drop in the price tag. To provide some context, do the math. What flagship devices can you buy today for around $700? In the United States, we're talking OnePlus 8T, which has a debatable camera and less flavors of 5G, Google Pixel 5 with a mid-ranger chip and less cameras, or iPhone 12, which is comparable but has less refresh rate and cameras. And once you consider the aggressive pre-order deals that Samsung is offering, which I'll be sure to link to in the description, I think you know where I'm going. The Samsung Galaxy S21 is seriously the best offering in this price range, but I know what you're thinking. What's the catch? And honestly, not much. Take the hardware for example. Like its most expensive brothers, this is the best looking Galaxy S launch I've ever seen, with a more cohesive and fashion-centric design that can clearly be seen in the color options, with this phantom violet looking like jewelry. The camera hump no longer seems like this necessary evil in a corner, and is now better protected by this contour cut design. Same aluminum build, the strongest Gorilla Glass Vict is at the front, and really what changes is that it's a polycarbonate back instead of glass. Now we call it Glastic for a reason. If it looks like glass and feels like glass but doesn't break like glass, is this really a bad idea? I actually think that this is the best option for most consumers. The internals are pretty much the same story. You get the latest Qualcomm Snapdragon 888 with the same RAM and storage options as the Plus model, matched with all flavors of 5G, reverse wireless charging, water resistance, a pretty large battery, and really all you're missing is the ultra-wideband feature that enables tricks like the digital car key that you'll actually need a new car for anyways. And I think another one of my favorite changes with the Galaxy S21 is that by popular demand, the display finally got flat. Heck, if this is another way to drop the price, it should be a general practice. Like its larger siblings, this is a 6.2-inch dynamic AMOLED 2X at Full HD Plus resolution, and this means the display adjusts between 48 and 120 Hz based on your usage, and reduces eye fatigue with an auto-adjustable blue light filter. Colors are vibrant, but under Samsung's new approach to not oversaturate. There's also a larger and faster ultrasonic fingerprint scanner under the display, which proved to be a joy to use during this pandemic. At this price, few phones support HDR10 Plus or go as high as 1300 nits, and then the built-in dual speakers are pretty loud. It has a Wacom digitizer, and even if there's no S Pen just keep in mind that regardless of the materials, there's no such thing as an indestructible phone. That's where channel sponsor SUPCASE has you covered. Those of you looking for the fully rugged experience, there's the award-winning UB Pro, made of a high-quality polycarbonate and shock-absorbent TPU. You get all the texture and grip you need along with 20-foot drop resistance. I doubt you'll find a better quality solution that includes a kickstand and a belt holster for such a low price. Simply search S21 Case by SUPCASE on Amazon, or go to SUPCASE.com and use promo code POCKETNOW15 to get a 15% discount. Yes, we have partnered with SUPCASE to give away a Galaxy S21 and a Galaxy S21 Ultra, so follow the first link in the description and enter promo code POCKETNOWGalaxy. That'll enhance your chances to win. And yes, another thing to consider is what you're not getting in the box, so I'll be sure to link to my favorite fast charging options from Aukey as well in the description. Now, what I wasn't expecting to praise is One UI 3.1, but this is another reason why I consider this to be a fan edition. It's as if they've been listening to complaints because they've got a lot of things right here. The average consumer might care about the changes in aesthetics, which I seriously consider barely noticeable. Really, I'm just glad that this is all based on Android 11, because now that means notifications won't be this convoluted mess, with conversations now being stacked at the top. What I care about most is choice, and to finally get the option to choose the Google feed from the left of the launcher is just huge. Subtle changes like having Google Pay set by default, even if you can easily switch to Samsung Pay, and Google Home devices as an option over SmartThings are also fantastic. If only you could call on the devices menu from the power button instead of Bixby, and I'd be golden. But don't get me wrong, this is not me complaining. Things like smart tags actually make me praise what SmartThings is doing. There is now actually a benefit in grabbing the Galaxy Buds Pro and the Galaxy Watch 3 and even a Samsung TV. Given the reduced footprint and the software philosophy, using this phone in day-to-day has been actually quite pleasant. And even if I was expecting issues with battery performance, I've been ending the days for the past week just fine, and the pleasantries also extend to phone calls. They've been pretty good, and the phone does an amazing job at retaining connection to 5G as well. Now, at this price point, what usually breaks any device that's not a Pixel or an iPhone is the camera, and this is where things actually get interesting. In a weird move, Samsung has chosen to keep the same specifications as last year, though we know the chip now brings a new ISP to assist. Also, even if I have no scientific confirmation on this, if you were to compare the specifications of the primary camera with that of the iPhone 12 Pro Max, it even seems like if this is the exact same sensor, or at least just as capable. I recently did a small little comparison in my first impressions video with the S21 Ultra, and most viewers were debating which phone was which. During the day, whether you're going ultra-wide, primary, or 3x telephoto, the results are fantastic. Samsung continues to tone down its saturation without affecting dynamic range or detail. So long as you stick to what the cameras can do optically and forget about 30x, you'll be fine. I even get the impression that this primary sensor is large enough to produce some really nice natural bokeh. At night, the results are also fairly good if you stick to the primary sensor. Samsung does offer a night mode on all cameras, but the results are not at all something I'd blindly trust. What is impressive is selfies during the day or after applying night mode. Once you disable beautifying modes, you'll see lots of detail and fantastic dynamic range, even in very brightly lit scenarios. And the separation provided by portraits is also pretty good for this being software. I also see some dramatic improvements in video. I notice less warping as you walk, less over-sharpening, and an overall very balanced shot if you have enough light. This might actually be the first time that I'd say I feel comfortable with an Android phone for this task, and that even applies to selfie video. Now, if I don't waste your time talking about Director's View or Super Steady, it's because they're still limited to 1080p. Don't get me wrong, they're great ideas, but they are limited at a time when this phone is already doing its second generation of 8K video. To conclude, I think that the concern of most consumers when buying a flagship is if their money is well invested, unless the price is right. In that sense, I think that's precisely what makes the launch of the Galaxy S21 so important. We live in difficult times, and to see companies figure out ways to make price tags more realistic is what the market needs. Yes, this is a more cohesive design, and finally getting more choice in software is also to praise, but I think the bigger story here is the price. It's not perfect in any way. I'm sure some of you will be concerned about the Glastic or the lack of expandable storage now, or the accessories that you're losing in the box, but one more time I invite you to do the math. The phone starts at $799. That $200 price drop alone is way beyond what the accessories cost. If you want to double the storage, that's just an extra $50, and then if you were to pre-order, you can get it for as low as $99 with a trade-in, plus a smart tag, and the $100 of in-store credit are enough to buy the missing accessories. If I had to pick between flagship features and a future-proof processor over having the charger in the box like Google did, I'd pick the flagship processor. Heck, Apple even dropped the accessories and made the iPhone 12 silently more expensive, with one less camera and half the storage. I think you understand where I'm going with this review. I actually never expected to like this phone this much, but seriously, if you're in the market for an affordable flagship, the Samsung Galaxy S21 is pretty much the best device we can recommend in this price bracket. Make sure you don't miss out on the pre-order deals in the description, and while you're at it, follow us on social media, subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. Also follow me on my personal handles to see me be impressed by this phone more than I thought. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.